Okay, B'Sha'a Tova. So just before we start Siman Dalet, okay, which is the kavanot of the brachot in general, and in specifically the kavanah of Asher Yatzar and Al Netilat Yadayim, I just want to bring a few points about Netilat Yadayim, so that are very important. Okay. So we said that if somebody does Netilat Yadayim to someone else, right? The person that is doing the Netilat Yadayim for the other person must have done Netilat Yadayim before, right? Because impure cannot make someone pure. So only somebody pure can make somebody else pure, right? So lo alenu, for example, let's say you need to do Netilat Yadayim to somebody that cannot move, old, or whatever it is. He has to do Netilat Yadayim. The person has to do first Netilat Yadayim and then go and do Netilat Yadayim to the other person. That's one thing. The other thing is what we know of the Chachamim, that the Isur, that a person that before he does Netilat Yadayim is not allowed to touch his eyes, his nose, his mouth, his ears, right? Any open halul, right? Anything that's open, he should not touch before he does Netilat Yadayim. Why? Because it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous. Now, the Mahzik Bracha, the Rav Hida says, there's a mahloket between the Yabetz and the Rav Hida. The Yabetz says that's only if you put your finger before Netilat Yadayim inside, or you put your finger inside your nose, or inside your mouth, or inside your ear. But if you touch, okay, there's no problem. Says the Rav Hida, it's not true. It's not true. And he brings in the name of the Al-Fasi Zuta from Rabbi Menachem Azaria, that says, no, Mapitom, the outside and the inside are the same, okay? And the same thing, Sefer HaPardes, the Ramak, brings B'Shem HaRashba, the same thing, okay? Very important. When we sleep, we don't realize, sometimes we touch our ear, we scratch our nose, our ears, or our nose, or again, also the Ruach Tumah, very dangerous. And we're going to understand why in the bracha of Asher Yatzar, it's dangerous to touch with your hands before Netilat Yadayim, your ears, your eyes, your mouth, your nose. Okay? Now, if a person touches food before he did Netilat Yadayim, let's say he wakes up, he has a whatever it is, he has an apple, he wants to eat the apple, right? Even tabak, he says, the tabak that you used to smell? Yeah? The Ben Ish Hai brings in Od Yosef Hai. A person takes tabak, he needs the tabak in the morning, he wakes up before he goes and do Netilat Yadayim. These people, they come and they before they do Netilat Yadayim, they smoke the cigarette, yeah? They make the tabak tameh, and then, the tabak, or you put it in the nose, right? It's tameh. So if you touch a fruit, okay, you need to do Netilat, you need to pour 3 times water on that fruit to take away the Ruach Tum'ah. Okay, good? Yeah. Also, now, the question is, why do we need to do Netilat Yadayim b'sirugim? 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, right? Why can't we do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like we do, for example, when we do the bracha of Hamotzi Lechem Min Haaretz? Okay. So the tum'ah, the ruach hara'ah that we're referring to is called shivta bat melech. We address, right? We call it bat melech. That's how the Kabbalah calls it, bat melech. Shivta bat melech. That's her name. Shivta bat melech. So the Sha'ar HaKavanot writes, דולגת וקופצת עד שנעתקת לגמרי. That's the Sha'ar HaKavanot. The Sha'ar HaKavanot, the Ari HaKadosh. He says, דולגת וקופצת. So look what happens. You take the keli, right, from the right hand, it's full of water. You give it to the left hand and you pour on the right hand. Yeah? The klipa is strong. So what does it do? It jumps from the right hand and goes into the left hand, right? But it doesn't jump completely, most of it. So when you pour water on the right, whatever is left of that klipa on the right goes away, right? So now the klipa is on the left. So that's why you have to go and pour on the left, right? So she what does the klipa does? She jumps from the left on the right, right? But she left something on the left. So you clean the left 3 times, right? 3 times. By doing that, after 3 times, the ruach tum'ah is disappears, jumps into the water and goes out of that. This is why we do 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 bedilugim, only to get away the ruach tum'ah. Now, when we get out of the bathroom, although we said lechaora, right, you wash your hands to have clean hands, and you can do yashar yatzar, and it's finished. Al pi hasod, we brought it, right? The ruach tum'ah is also in the bathroom, right? We spoke about it. When you go into a bathroom, even if you didn't do nothing, you just went in, took something and went out, you have to do netilat yadayim. If you're careful for the ruach tum'ah, for the ruach ra'ah, you have to do again netilat yadayim. You go inside with the food in the bathroom. Okay, when we say the bathroom, what do we mean the bathroom? We mean a room where you have toilet. Okay. There's ruach ra'ah in it. You cannot eat that thing. You have to do it here today. You have to clean it before, right? You have to pour 3 times water. That's why we don't go inside, not with food, or not with food even in our mouth, right? Another thing, when a person, well, we'll see that in Ashar Yatzah. Okay, good.
Yeah, but you didn't explain the hamotzi part. You said what? You said 1, 2, 1, 1.
We didn't talk about hamotzi.
No, but you said
no, but it's pashut. 1, the 3 times. If not even the 3 times, we said last year,
yeah.
when you asked me about hamotzi, what did I say? We're going to talk about it when we talk about the Sa'udah.
I thought I was going to crack you today.
What?
I couldn't crack you on Friday, so I said maybe I'll crack you today for the answer. Not happening.
Right now we stay on course. You know me by then, no?
Yeah.
Okay, Baruch Hashem. So now we're going to see. Now just keep in mind, because the netilat yadayim of hamotzi, we don't do it for the ruach tum'ah, of ruach ra'ah, right? We do it to have clean hands, just like the seder avodah of the kohanim. Okay, we're going to see. All right. Good. All right. Siman Dalet. I'm sorry. Asher Yatzar. Now, okay, we said the kavanah of al netilat yadayim, right? You lift your hands up, right? When we do the first netilat yadayim, now we're talking about the netilat yadayim we're doing with beracha. Okay, with beracha. So at the time, they would do it gradually, right? They would do everything at once. But today, what do? We prepare the netilat yadayim by our bed, covered. Okay, like we spoke last year. We do netilat yadayim. We go to the bathroom. We clean ourselves. Okay, brush our teeth, and when we're ready to make berachot, we do again the netilat yadayim like we did in the morning. And then we make the beracha of al netilat yadayim, right? And al netilat yadayim, we elevate our hands, right? By elevating your hands, right? The left goes up because it can only go up after it has been cleaned by the chasadim, by the chesed, by the mercy of the water, right? And the right is a little bit higher because the right is stronger than the left, right? We want the chesed of Hashem. We want the mercy of HaKadosh Baruch Hu to be stronger than the judgment of Hashem, right? And now the hands are kedoshim, right? Now I can serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now the hands are ready to serve Hashem, and this is why when we lift the hand, we lift the hands to the head, which is the mohin, right? Now we allow the hands that are the chasadim, right, to go to the mohin, get influenced by the mohin, and start serving HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What's wrong, son?
So you're saying you raise your hands all the way to here every time you say netilat yadayim? I never did it.
Yeah.
Because I'm learning. I'm asking questions.
Al netilat yadayim. You make the Baruch like this. Right?
Okay.
The right and the left. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, why? That now your hands are ready to what? To serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now you're ready for your service, right? We don't put the hands higher than the head. Asur, right? Because the hands you just bring them in front of you enough so that the Mohin can influence them, right? The Mohin is the Chokhmah, Binah, and the Da'at, refer to fundamentals.
Rabbi,
Okay?
what's the rule if you forget to wash your hands first thing in the morning? Is there a time limit you can do it? Is there?
No, you have to do it right away. You have to do it right away.
What if you forget? You get caught up?
As soon as you remember, you have to do it. It's an issue.
So you could do it up until you pray. Let's say.
Yeah, if you're in the middle of praying and you remember you didn't do Netilat Yadayim, you stop, you go to Netilat Yadayim.
Wow, thank you.
Okay, let's go. Siman Dalet. So you make the bracha of Netilat Yadayim, and right after the bracha of Netilat Yadayim, we make the bracha of Asher Yatzam, right? יגביה אצבעותיו כשיברך על נטילת ידיים. You lift your fingers, right? והתכוון לקדש ידיו בקדושת הספירות, right? By lifting your hands, you bring your hands to the mohin, and you have in mind, and the 10 fingers are the sefirot, right, Salom? That's what we said last year. The 10 sefirot are the sefirot. That's why the tumah goes to the 10 fingers, because they represent the 10 sefirot where the kedusha is. Right, you lift them, and now they are kadosh, and now they're no longer under the influence of the tum'ah. Now, and you have in mind that the mohin are influencing them to receive the kedusha, right? Hello, to receive the kedusha of the mohin. So, now, before we enter into the pirush, the understanding of the beracha of Asher Yatzar, right? The Heikhal HaKodesh will give us an explanation, a general explanation of the berachot. When you make the beracha, Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Melech HaOlam Asher Kideshanu, right? Nachon? Okay, so let's go. So what does that mean? What does that mean? בכל ברכה שיש הזכרת השם ומלכות, every time you say, ברוך אתה השם, אלוקינו מלך העולם, התכוון המברך להשפיע ברכה ואצילות נשמה מן היחיד הקדמון אל הבינה. So, what we want to do is we're bringing bracha, we're bringing light of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, bracha of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, from the Ein Sof, all the way to the Binah. Why the Binah? Because when we say Baruch Atah Hashem, Hashem is the Sephirah of the Binah. כי שם מקום מנוחתו, ולהודות לו יתברך שהבדילנו מכל האומות, היונקים מן הקצוות ומן הקליפות. Why do we say Baruch Atah Hashem? Why do we praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu and we bring the Or to the Binah? Because we belong, we connect to the Binah, right? HaKadosh Baruch Hu yihed otanu, that we belong to the Mohin, not like the rest of the Umot, not like the Goyim, that the Goyim, they belong to the Klipot, to the Ktsavot. ויחד אותנו לחלקו, להתדבק בשמו הגדול. שם תפארת, שנאמר, ואתם הדבקים בהשם אלוקיכם, חיים כולכם היום, right? ואתם הדבקים בהשם אלוקיכם, who's Hashem Elokechem? It's the Tiferet. And from where comes all the inyan of the mitzvot, the chukim, the Torot. It all comes from the Tiferet. Okay? So, when we make Baruch, we're having in mind, Baruch is the Keter. Okay? We say Baruch, we have in mind that HaKadosh Baruch Hu brings his beracha, brings his abundance on the Sephirah of Keter. Ata Chokhmah. Hashem Bina. Baruch Ata Hashem. Baruch, when I say Baruch, HaKavanah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Ein Sof, is mashpia, brings abundance on the Keter, Ata on the Chokhmah, Hashem on the Bina. Right? It's as if he brings his neshama down, a light of his neshama down. And why do we say Ata? Because once the Or of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the Chokhmah, is in the Chokhmah, that's when he's revealing himself, right? We refer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu up to the Chokhmah. Remember that, right? The Keter is him, right? He's the king. The Chokhmah is what I can already relate to. His Chokhmah is how he behaves with us. Nachon? When we say Shem Hashem, we know that every time you say the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right, the Yud Kei Vav Kei, it has levushim. It has an envelope. What's the envelope of the Yud Kei Vav Kei? The Nikud, right? Hello.
I'm listening.
The Nikud, you remember the Nikud, yeah? The Nikudim. The Kamatz, is Keter, Patach, the Chokhmah, fundamentals.
Yeah.
Okay. So every time you have vowels on the Yud Kei Vav Kei, it represents a certain midah, right? So when we say Baruch Atah Hashem, if you look at the Sidurim, okay, that are careful with the Nikudim on the Berachot, on Asher Yatzar, it has the name Yehavecha. Yehavecha, from the Nikud Yehavecha. Shva, Kamatz, Shva, Kamatz.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Yes. Why Shva Kamatz? That comes from the word Yehavecha in Tehillim. Hashlech al Hashem, right? Cast your burden on HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Throw your burden on Hashem. Yehavecha, and He will sustain you. He will take care of you. Hu yechalkelecha. He will give you parnasa. Lo yiten le'olam mot atzadik. He will never let a tzaddik collapse, die. Right? That's the pasuk in Tehillim chapter Nun He. So the word Yehavecha, just to keep in mind, the vowels of the word Yehavecha are found a lot in Yud Kei Vav Kei. Why? Now, because the gematria of the Nikudim, the gematria of the vowels equals to Hesed. Let's see. Yehavecha is Shva, 2 dots, right? 2 dots. Now, every dot is 10. Okay? You with me? When you bring the gematriot of the vowels, you can have or dots or vav, right? For example, the kamatz is a vav with a dot in it, right? Good. So you have the shva of the yud is 2 dots. That's 20, right? Then you have the kamatz on the he. So you have a vav and the dot. That's 16. That's 36, right? Then you have a shva under the bet of Yehavecha. That's another 20. That's 56.
36. Mm-hmm.
36 plus 20 is 56, right?
Mm-hmm.
And another kamatz of under the chav sofit, right? Kamatz is 6 and 10, it's 16. 56 and 16, 72. Hesed. Av.
Wow.
Okay? When you do Baruch Atah Hashem and you have this, you think of that Nikud in the Yud Kei Vav Kei, right? What you're doing is you're bringing all the Chasadim of HaKadosh Baruch Hu to infuse, to surround and immerse the Binah, which is Din. So that now the Binah can only shower and bring down Chesed and Beracha and abundance and no judgment.
Beautiful.
Good.
That's in all the berachot. all the Amunai in all the berachot is the same.
No, we're going to see. When we're not tapping into a structural, linear format, okay, on the man or the mad, right? When when you're going up or you're going down. If you're not following a certain path, then it's Yehavecha. If you're following a certain path, meaning you're going layer, so you're gonna have Keter, Chochma, Bina, Da'at, Chesed, Gvura, right? It depends, right? It depends if you're going up a ladder or you're tapping in into the Chesed of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If you're tapping into the Chesed of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the core essence of Chesed is Yehavecha. Keeping also the Chachmei Asod say, if you have that name in your mind with those nikudim, and you always think about that name, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will always do you Chesed with you, because you're always connected to the Chesed of Hashem. Now we know that Av is 72, right? It's also the Yud Ke Vav Ke of Yudin. The name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu with Yuds is also Gematria 72, right? Chesed is 72. And we have the name of Hashem of 72 letters, right? So when you connect to the 72, you're basically connecting to the core essence of Chesed of Hashem. And that's what you're bringing down. Now, when you make a Beracha of Asher Yatzar, you want to tap into the ultimate Chesed of Hashem, right? Because that's the Refuah. That's having a healthy body. You need the ultimate Chesed of Hashem. So for sure, you're going to think about Yehavecha, the Nikud, the vowels of the Yehavecha.
So anything that you need Chesed from Hashem, you think of the Yehavecha. Any beracha that is Chesed, like Shema Kolenu, like that, Barech Aleinu, right?
What do you mean?
Anything that you need Chesed. No, in other words, anything that you need Chesed from Hashem, any beracha that requires Chesed.
Yes.
That. For example, if you put tefillin, it's not Chesed.
Again, as long as we will see. As keep in mind, unless you are in a ladder in a process of ladder, going up or going down in the structure of the Sefirot of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and you need to follow an order, unless you have to do that, always have in mind the Yehavecha, the vowels of Yehavecha. Again, how do you have Yehavecha? Yud under a Shva, He a Patach, Vav a Shva, Kamatz, Vav Shva, He Kamatz. Right? Shva Kamatz. Yud Ke Vav Ve. Okay. Now, so that's Baruch Keter, bringing down his Or into the Keter. Ata, channeling it to the Chochma, Hashem, Bina. Ve'ata Elokenu. Okay? Right? Elokenu. Ma kavana Elokenu? From there come all the beracha, all the kochot, right? Right? Baal Elokim, Baal Kol HaKochot Kulam. The one that gives the korach to everything. That's the definition of the word Elokim. Baal Kol HaKochot Kulam. That the one that is the source of all the powers of the creation. Hu Melech HaOlam. Melech, okay, which is the Ein Sof going down. Hu Melech HaOlam. Melech HaOlam, the Melech on the world. The world, who's called the world Olam in the Sefirot, the Tiferet. Okay? Asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav. Okay? The Tiferet is called Olam. Kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav. So kiddeshanu, right? Who sanctified us, elevated us, in order to do his mitzvot. Now, who are we referring to? we're referring to the Ein Sof. You're with me? Very, very important. Now, when we in the beginning we say Baruch Atah Hashem, we're talking to Baruch Atah Hashem. We're talking to the Bina, right? We're bringing the Or Ein Sof all the way to the Bina. That's why we say Atah, Lashon Nochach, right? You. We're pointing out. We're focusing we're aiming to something very specific. When I say Atah, when I say you, I'm aiming to you, right? Elokenu melech haolam. And then we say Asher kideshanu, Lashon Nista. He sanctified us. B'mitzvotav, with his mitzvot. Why don't we say Asher kidashtanu b'mitzvotecha? If we start with Atah, right? We should say, if I say you, I should continue the beracha with you. Baruch atah Hashem, bless you are Hashem, Elokenu, the source of all power, our source of all power, Melech haolam, King of all world. Asher kidashtanu b'mitzvotecha v'tzivitanu, right? You're the one who sanctifies us with your mitzvot and ordered us to do, right? That's how we should be. That's normally what we should be saying. But that's not what we say. We start by saying Atah, and then we continue by saying Him. Who? B'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, hu tziva otanu.
That's a good point. I never thought of that.
Everybody, there's only one beracha where we start with Lashon Nochach and we finish with Lashon Nochach. Only one. Hatov shimcha ulech. Shimcha ulecha na'el lehodot. That's the only beracha that starts with Atah and ends with Atah. Every other beracha starts with Atah and then transits to Him. The Nefesh HaChaim speaks about it. So what's the pshat? Ma pshat. The pshat is the following. If you understand that, then you understand the sort of all the berachot. If not, what are we doing? Baruch Atah Hashem. I'm bringing down the light of HaKadosh Baruch Hu into the system all the way until Atah, all the way until the Bina. The Bina, which is the point of connection between Am Yisrael and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Okay? Where we one face to face. So that was I said Baruch Atah Hashem. Elokenu, the source of all kochot. Melech haolam, the king of all of the entire world. Now, who kideshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu? Who? The Bina? Not the Bina, the Ein Sof, right? Nachon? Now the Ein Sof, can you say Atah to the Ein Sof?
No, we're not the same. We're not connected.
No, we're not connected. Normally we're not connected. We can't even relate to it intellectually, right? So that's why we say who? Asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav. Who v'tzivanu?
That's why you say Avinu Malkenu, because first Avinu is, in other words, you feel it close, and then Malkenu, he's a little farther. Similar concept. If you think about it, Avinu is closer to you, right? That's why I say Avinu Malkenu. We don't say Malkenu Avinu. We say Avinu Malkenu. First is Avinu, and then is Malkenu.
Going up, yes.
Right, similar concept.
So Baruch Atah Hashem, Elokenu Melech haolam, right? Status. Asher kideshanu. Now we're reflecting. We're going back to the Ein Sof. Shehu Asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, because it all comes from there. What? על נטילת ידיים, להניח תפילין, לקרוא מגילה, לאכילת מצה, whatever it is, right?
Why Tov Leodot is not that?
We're going to get to that.
Okay.
We're going to get to that. So there's a sod nifla, but we have to get to the Amidah for you to understand where we are at that moment and why it's so clear that you cannot say it another way.
So I guess when you thank, you have to be next to each other, something like that.
Bravo. We'll get there. Chazak
good.
u'baruch.
That's what we repeat Modim. We said Modim, we repeat it. We don't, nobody, the Chazan cannot say it for us.
Chazak. You cannot have one person and not the rest.
Right.
Chazak.
Very nice.
Okay. ומברכין לאין סוף, he says, ישתבח שמו שהוא מלך על התפארת. Right? He's the מלך העולם, הנקרא עולם. הקדוש ברוך הוא, which is the end of we cannot relate to, מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו, right? He's the one who sanctifies us, וציוונו, and he orders us, והבדילנו, right? Good?
Mm-hmm.
Now you have the sort of all the berachot. After that, it's just to aim on the action and the actual mitzvah. Okay? Baruch keter, ata chokhmah, Hashem, bebina, that mitlabeshet, that gets a levush, that gets a behavior, right? A certain behavior. Or yahavecha, or different nikudim, depending on what bracha we're making. Elokenu, he's Elokenu, melech haolam, vehu melech haolam. And so, asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav. Now, from melech haolam, we're going. That's it. We've brought down the beracha, the shefa, to the sefirah of Binah. From that point on, we're going back to the Ein Sof. Elokenu melech haolam, asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu. We praise the Ein Sof. We connect ourselves, right, to the other meaning. We chaz v'chalila to think that we serve the Sefirot. We don't serve the Sefirot. We only bring his beracha into the Sefirot because that's the channel that he put in place in order to shower his abundance and his light upon the creation. But when we refer to his greatness and to our service to him, we cannot say you, we say him.
Right.
Good.
Now, when there's no Asher Kedeshano in the Berachot, that means that it's not a commandment from him. You're not, think about it. Let's say you're eating an apple, for example, right? It's not Asher Kedeshano. Or Borei Perei Gefen Hamotzi, there's no Asher Kedeshano. So how do you explain that?
What you say? Okay. So it's called Birkot HaShvach. It's a bracha to praise HaKadosh Baruch. So you're going to say Baruch Ata Hashem Elokenu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. He's motzi lechem min haaretz. Right? So because it's a shvach, it's a praise. There's no tzivui. He's not forced. He's not telling you must eat. So you don't have to say that. But you still have to do the transition.
Okay.
Borei peri ha'adama. Right? He's the one borei peri ha'adama. Hamotzi shehu motzi lechem min haaretz. שהכל נהיה בדברו, לא בדבריך, בדברו. Good? So the transition always happens. Okay. Now we're gonna dive into the actual beracha of Asher Yatsa. Now that we know the secret and the structure of the berachot and how we transit from channeling beracha to the praising and recognition of who we're serving and who we need to praise. וזאת כוונת ברכת אשר יצר ופירושיה. שאומר ברוך אתה השם, מתכוון במילת ברוך להמשיך הנשמה אל הכתר. We bring the אור of הקדוש ברוך הוא to the כתר, we say ברוך. במילת אתה to the חוכמה. במילת השם מתכוון להמשיך הנשמה אל הבינה. Right? We bring the אור of הקדוש ברוך הוא to the... כששוכן בשלישית, אנו אומרים לפניו, שהוא אלוקינו. Right? והוא מלך העולם, like we said. And the עולם, he's the king on the תפארת. אשר יצר את האדם התחתון בכוח החוכמה. אשר יצר את האדם בחוכמה, who created man, who is the lowest point in spiritual ishtalshelut, בחוכמה, which is the highest, right? כי ביצירת אדם הראשון היה היוצר הוא התפארת שהוא העולם ויצר האדם בכוח החוכמה. You understand? אשר יצר את האדם בחוכמה, right? He created man in this world, but who is the influencer on the olam ha'asiyah? On the olam is the tiferet, right? He said olam is tiferet. So who is the representative of HaKadosh Baruch Hu kiviyachol on the concept of olam is the tiferet. Now in the tiferet, okay, was created Adam. But where did that koach come from? Where did the tiferet get the koach from? From the chokhmah. Asher yatzar et ha'adam bechokhmah. You understand? So now you're connecting Adam to tiferet to chokhmah. You're aligning the sefirot. You're aligning yourself to the pipes of shefa and bracha. Now you can receive the chasadim from Yehavecha, from Yud Kei Vav Kei, with Yehavecha. Sharatzar et Adam bechokhmah. Right? And what happened? Uvarabo nekavim nekavim halulim halulim. He said, "What is nekavim? Nekavim is holes. Different. Nekavim. You created different types of holes and different halulim, sinorot, like pipes, right? That are open pipes." Says זה רמז לצינורות. Says that שבהם תרד ההשפעה ממידה למידה בין הנקבים החלולים באדם ובהם הנשמה נכנסת בו. He says the man in this world is to the image of the Adam in Shamayim, right? The HaKadosh Baruch Hu showers his light and his beracha through pipes. Some are open and some are closed, right? So he says the ones that are open is the same way HaKadosh Baruch Hu showers his light in the Sefirot. How did he bring life to men? Through the nose, through the open, right? Through the mouth, through the nose, right? And these are open, right? If you close them, Halila, we die, right? Nekavim, halulim, right? So the same way HaKadosh Baruch Hu brings life to the spiritual world through those pipes, he brings life to Adam through those pipes also that are open. And now we have also the ones that are closed, right? The Piyat Ba'at, for example, right? When we go to the bathroom, the two holes that we use to go to the bathroom, they're closed. They're only open when we need to reject something, right? So that's nekavim, the ones that open, that needs to stay open, nekavim, and the ones that are closed and that needs to stay closed and open only when they need. Halulim, and they have to be hollow inside. Khalila, if they're not hollow, if the nose string or our mouth or whatever respiration tube, like if they're clogged, Khalila is death. Same thing with the nekavim to go to the bathroom. If they're clogged, it brings death. Or if they're open when they're supposed to be closed, it's also death. Why? Because it doesn't retain anything inside. So it's incredible how HaKadosh Baruch Hu created man. In the same way, he created the Sefirot with pipes, ones that are open, so that the light of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Beracha, can come down, okay? And get and influence the body, influence the Sefirot, but they need to be retained. They need to be retained because if they are open, it falls down to the klipot. Imagine if you eat and you cannot retain the food. You go to the bathroom. You would not be able to retain any vitamins, any proteins, nothing. The person dies. So אשר יצר את האדם בחוכמה, ובערבו נקבים נקבים, חלולים חלולים. The ones that are open, the ones that are closed, and they are hollow, so that we can receive the light, absorb it, and only flush out the klipot, only flush out the negativity.
How come the only halulim that are open that you cannot close is your ears and your nose? Everything else you can close if you want to. You can close your eyes, you can close your mouth, but you can't close your ears and your nose. Why is that?
You cannot live without with your eyes closed, and you cannot live with your mouth closed. It's not possible.
No, I'm saying you can close them if you want to, but the nose and the ears you cannot close. Why is that?
You can go like this, and you can go like this, and you can go like this.
I don't know.
But it's not systematic like the eyes and,
right.
and the.
That's
It's not systematic. The eyes and the mouth. There is a. The two evarim that are the most impactful on a person is his eyes and his mouth.
Of course.
So you have to be able to close your eyes, not to be exposed, and close your mouth, not to say chas v'shalom something, or not to bring in
right.
Food that is asur, or not to say things that are asur.
Right.
So that's the sword of halulim, right? He says, Ki evarei haneshama hem keneged sinorot hakedusha. The evarim of the body, right? The body is reflecting the pipeline of the kedusha of the sefirot, from which the neshama, right, goes inside the body. So when we bring down, look how beautiful, we bring down the chesed, the av, the light of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and we shower it upon the sefirot. As we do that, we bring chasadim into our body to also have the neshama shine upon our body, for the body to be healthy, for the body to be strong, and for the body to be at the image of kedusha of the sefirot. That's the bracha of Asher Yatzar. This is the first bracha we do after Netilat Yadayim. We express our acknowledgement that we are at the image of the sefirot, right? And that we live according to the chesed that HaKadosh Baruch Hu does with us by showering his or onto the structure of sefirot, which is essentially allowing the neshama to be inside our body for our body to live. גלוי וידוע לפני כיסא כבודיך שאם ייסתם אחד מהם או אם יתפתח אחד מהם אי אפשר להתקיים אפילו שעה אחת, right? And it's ברור, right? That if one opens or one closes and it's not supposed to, the person cannot survive. נכון?
Yeah.
Good? Why? שאם יפתח אחד מהם, because if the one that's supposed to be closed is open, where all this kedusha goes, it goes to the klipot. Now, if one is closed, if you're clogged, if it's clogged, and the ore cannot go down, the neshama cannot go down, it also the internal body will collapse. Baruch atah Hashem, רופא כל בשר ומפליא לעשות, רופא כל בשר, that's how you cure all the body, ומפליא לעשות, and you do amazing actions, כי הפליא לעשות שברא האדם בדמות עליון. The pele, the amazing, the awesomeness is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu made the body of the human to the image of the Sefirot. So we have a point of reference and we know how to use our body and how to cure our body. Because if there is an organ or a part of the body that is sick, Khalila, it's because in the Sefirot, in its root, there is something problematic there. There is a clog there. So in order to fix the body, you need to go back to the Sefirot. And that's the Pele, that's the awesomeness. That's the awesomeness. Is that, and it makes sense. If we are the image of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and we're only a reflection of the Sefirot, right? But we impact and influence the Sefirot, like we said in the Agdama. So if there is a problem in the body, that means there's a problem in the core system. And that's the Pele. That's the amazingness. That how can a body, right, be the reflection of something that's 100% spiritual and metaphysical? That's the Pele. That's the Maflila Asot that he merged and joined and connected the physical core world and the Olam HaRuhani.
Can you give us an example
Of what?
of how do you, let's say somebody's sick on a certain part of the body, how does that connect to the Ruhani? Just
Okay.
a simple one.
Be'ezrat Hashem. Okay. So for example, the Midrash, right, says that if a person has a problem with his shoulder, yeah, it's because he's talking between the Mayim HaHaronim and the Birkat Hamazon.
How does that have to do anything with it? What does that have to do with how does that have to do anything with
Okay,
with
so you have to understand. Now you want to go, if you understand the Mayim HaHaronim, okay, the Mayim HaHaronim and the Birkat Hamazon, right? Mayim HaHaronim is what? Is the hand. Birkat Hamazon is what? Is with your mouth. If you split the two, what's the connection between the mouth and the is the shoulder.
Interesting.
You understand?
Yeah, very nice. Beautiful. I like that.
So there's a lot like this. I don't know the re'iyah or the heart or the intestines, all are interconnected to mitzvot. Ramach Evarim is Sagidim, right? The Ramach mitzvot that we have. And that's Shasa Lo Ta'aseh. So all that together, okay, if you understand it correctly and you follow it correctly, and that's Maflila Asot, is that you understand that you impact the Olam HaElyon, right? But by understanding how it's working up there, also you can fix down there.
Love that. Beautiful.
That's the Maflila Asot.
Very nice. Very, very nice.
Baruch Hashem. That's, we have the sword and of the Kavanah of Asher Yatzar in the morning, which is after we do Netilat Yadayim. I'm at your service, right? And I'm not holy, and I'm at your service, Kadosh, to serve you. It's very important to right away bring down the Shefa of Chasadim right away. That's why we don't stop. We don't disconnect Netilat Yadayim Asher Yatzar in the morning. We just connect it right away, so that there's no room for dinim. And we have the kavanah of the nikud of the vowels of Yehavecha on the Yud Kei Vav Kei.
Baruch. Beautiful.
Baruch Tihiyeh.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you so much.
All right, Hatzlacha, Shavua Tov.
Shavua Tov. Enjoy your day, guys. Thank you.